Or almost, that would almost ruin my life. He decided
And that he
that
never talked about him.
I was called out as being this and that and the other.
I guess my grandpa didn't like
Scandal,
history
who
any more
was
than
a
my mom did.
psychotic individual. And I do mean psychotic because she was the kind of girl that when she gets with a dude and they leave her, she
How I Want to
calls
Remember
them
My
all
Brother
kinds of names
by Sam
and this
Finch.
and that and the other.
The
Says
thing I
that they
remember
really turn this
is that
and
when he
that
made up his mind,
none of that
that
is
was
true.
it.
Well, when she decided to make me look like I supposedly raped her, said that I was a pedophile that I jerked off in front of
My brother said he'd die before he ate another
family
mushroom,
members when
and he did.
like, that's how psychotic she was. And the reason why she said that is because of the last her because she genuinely was a psychopath. And that was her way of getting back at me, but what she did got me a lot of hate. She decided to make it look like she had taken her own life. She had basically forced Paul Cassidy, who was a good friend of mine at the time, she had forced him to tell me that I was responsible for her life.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore
She had
we'd
faked
never
her
be afraid
death.
again. And he wasn't.
And the way that she forced
I think
it
Calvin
was,
always
and I found
wanted
out
to
that
fly.
later, she would basically it's from Paul himself. She threatened to go after him. He is a dad. And honestly, he's
But that day,
like,
he
I
finally
watched this
made up his mind to do it.
video of these kids and he's an amazing,
I told him going around was impossible.
amazing father. Like, this dude is one of the
Maybe
best
if I hadn't
fathers
said that.
I've ever seen. Like, he actually likes to be with his children. He likes spending time with them.
Maybe
Like,
if the
he's
wind
an
hadn't picked up,
all-around good dude.
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
Martin would soon
I
start
think he'd already
attacking
made up his mind.
over that, saying that he killed Kendall, that
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
for her death, and then we later found out that she was not dead. A lot of that brought on a lot of hatred. And during the time, Marcus saw me as a patch grab because he saw how volatile I was. And how like I was honestly, that's shit.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Down the second time, he decided to use
Calvin's
the
story felt
idea to
strangely
make me
familiar.
his.
When I was younger, I remember trying to do the
Wanted
exact
me
same
so
thing.
badly to be his because he won't say this, but he is bisexual, and I don't have anything against gay people. My older brother was gay, and I have all kinds of friends that are part of the LGBTQ plus community. So I do fully support the LGBTQ plus community. Like, I fully support it. But because I turned him down like I did, he decided to get back at me.
After the funeral,
And figured since he
Edie
couldn't
roped off
have me,
Calvin's
then
half
I
of the
couldn't
room.
do anything. So what did he do? He hired Nashville Mafia at the time
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18
to
and
at
never
first
set
talk
foot
to
in the
me
room
on
again.
panel, and we talked. And at first she was cool. At first I thought she was okay, and then I later found out that she was a drug addict. And as much as I cared about her, I could not be around that for my own sake. And not because I'm a druggie or this or any other, no, because I have watched way too many friends lose their lives over drugs, and I was not willing to put myself in that same position again. So I distanced myself from her and went about my day and did my stuff. You know? Went about doing my music, my artwork, my gameplay videos, and all that shit. Well,
The passages were a pretty tight fit.
soon after that,
They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
would come the worst day of my life. Marty had hired her the second time to basically but that's neither here nor there. But, you know, she had told me that she liked it. Like, and I mean, she genuinely looked like she wanted to be me. And I told her, alright, cool, I'll give her a chance. And, you know, we got to talking for a few hours by text.
Growing up, I
go.
always thought of Barbara as a child star.
And then what did she do? She turned around and was like,
I never
hey,
thought
you know,
about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
You know, what any couple would do when you're in separate states. She was like, hey, you know, things got serious. She was like, hey, you know, I'm kind of feeling in a certain mood, blah, 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 blah. Alright, cool. I was willing to oblige it. You know, I was willing to oblige that. Well, she basically was, you know, we got to talking and stuff, heated up by text, you know, things got real steamy. Well, she then turned around and was like, hey, you know, can I see a picture of you? And by a picture of me, I'm sure you guys can guess.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
And then she turned around and sent me one of her. And bear in mind, at the time, she was
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family.
I said, okay, you know,
I'm calling
your
it
turn.
the surprise ending
had,
of Barbara Finch.
You know, when you're with somebody, it's like, you know, hey, you're...
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
What the fuck?
It was Barbara's
Why is she
father,
doing this?
Sven. He'd
And
slipped
she
into a
wouldn't
table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room.
I'll tell you that.
So Barbara got stuck
She-
babysitting her
like, when
youngest
she
brother,
claimed me underage,
Walter.
I said,
Her
what
convention
the actual
comeback
fuck?
was cancelled.
Like, do you not realize that I can get in trouble because
Okay,
of
I'm
this
hearing
shit?
frustration, but I'm
If
not
you're
hearing
pretending to be
terror.
ugly, and this and
What if
that
I
and the other,
tried...
like,
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing
And so
Orcas
I
Island tonight. Police are
immediately
urging
locked
residents
her
to...
number.
That came from the basement.
You're
No,
right!
I let it go.
Also, I loved your delivery on that.
Immediately
Why is
blocked
your
her,
basement door
let
locked?
it go, starting,
Because my dad likes making
I
puzzles and
started to let
secret
friends
passages.
know, hey,
There's a
careful
key hidden in
this
the
number,
music box.
this is a
The
scam.
secret is to
She's a
keep
scam artist,
winding
she's a troll,
and
she's,
winding
you know,
until
this and that and
finally
the other.
the
She
key
likes
pops out.
to catfish.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
Well,
20 minutes
no
later,
sooner than that,
Rick
I would
hadn't
later
returned.
find out
So
that
Barbara
one of my
went to
friends
look for
who
him,
still paid
right
attention to the
on
party
cue.
sent me the link to Match Troll Mafia's video.
She reached for the
AKA
music box.
the one that Marty hired. Match Troll Mafia was on live stream during the whole thing, laughing about it.
And as
And
she
that night,
wound the
the
key,
police got
she
called
listened
out
for
to
Rick, but the
for-
house
I
was
forget what it
silent.
was. But somebody had called the cops out here that night, and I had showed them, what went down. Well, I had showed them text messages, I showed them everything,
She
and then I
found
showed
Rick's
them the
crutch
screen
and
with
imagined the worst.
and they straight out said that I am not a pedophile. I just have to be more careful of who I talk to. And that I need to be more careful. I completely understood. I completely understood that. And so I was very good.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
But after that, I got called a pedophile. I got called basically everything. That's the thing, though. And that went on for 7 years. That went on for
Rattled
like
and grew still.
2021 all the way up to right there.
Oh dear!
That was like really, really bad.
Rick?
To get away from it. I was looking for
Barb,
a way to get a fresh
relax.
start.
I was just trying to scare
And at
you
that
to help you
time,
find your screen.
Myself and
Well,
Nyla
I'm not
were actually
scared,
good friends at the time.
I'm
We had
furious.
been good friends for like
Then
fucking
act
4 years.
furious. All I'm
And to
getting
me,
from you
he was
now
like
is
an
that
older
you're
brother.
hurt and
You know, he was
confused.
a good
And
he was like an older brother.
She threw him out, but she kept a little something
And
to
so
remember
I
him
had
by.
gotten on Twitch.
Barb,
'Cause I had,
have you seen my
you
other
know,
crutch?
wanted.
And
I
she
had
was
a
still
Twitch for a
holding
while,
it
mind you. I
when
just
she
never
fell
really.
asleep
I never
watching the
really
late,
used
late
it
picture
like
show.
that.
Hours later,
And then I ended up,
Barbara!
talking to
Walter?
Nyla.
What's going on up there?
Because he was like, hey, like, I want a way to make some sort of an income.
Okay, I'm coming up.
So
But if
I
this
told
is a
him,
trick,
like,
you're
hey,
dead, Walter.
why don't you start a Twitch? I'll help you out. And he did good. Like, he did real good. Like, he was doing very, very well for himself. Like, he took off almost immediately. Like, at first he started out doing gameplay videos on YouTube. That's not very much. That's not very much at all. But for me, starting out, I was excited to just a little
Walter vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara. There's got to be another way out of here.
She played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
I swear to God, good. I love it. But, I am no ready to go and switch.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Really quickly, I had worked my ass off.
You were wonderful.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to freeze. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard. But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
I had gone to sleep. Over 1,016 subs, right?
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
For, you know, my job as a YouTuber. Like, I prepared for work. I was getting ready for my day. You know, I got up, got breakfast, blah, 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 blah. And I was still half asleep at the time. When he was blowing up my fucking, you know, stuff. He was blowing up my Facebook because we had met on Facebook. Well,
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me
ended
playing
up
with the
telling
music
me, like,
box.
dude, your YouTube's gone. Your YouTube's gone. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, your YouTube is fucking gone, dude. It got nuked. And I was like, what the fuck? So I went on there and I found out that I had gotten banned. Or not banned, but my account had
Edie's father, Odin, built the original
shut
house.
down by mass reporting again. So after that, it became very, very difficult for me to do anything. Like, it became very difficult for me to do anything. And, you know, I kept on dealing with, you know, YouTube channels being reported, shut down.
All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
And then, you know, William Gloryhole came in sometime after. And at first I enjoyed his content because he had made, like, little, you know, Fast and Furious fan videos. Because at the time I was doing a lot of car content. I was doing a lot of, you know, Forza content. Because, as a lot of you may or may not know, I'm a huge fan of the Forza franchise. I love Forza Horizon 1, 2, 3, and 4, and currently 5. So, you know, I'm a huge fan of the content, and so I was doing that for a time, you know? I was doing that kind of content. Like, that's what I did. And then, you know, after that, those two initial videos, over the next few, you know, following months and the next couple of years, I would find William getting pictures illegally that we did not post on the internet.
The basement
and
was
he would
off
start
limits,
attacking me.
unless I wanted another
He would
tetanus
start,
shot.
you know, going after me. And he did that for a very, very, very long time. And then he kind of sort of, you know, backed off as of recently. But that all went on until about, what was it, like it was about this time last year that N-word boy showed up. Now, N-word boy, he just flat out started attacking me. And at first I didn't take him serious.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once,
I did not take
carrying
him
packages.
serious at first. At first I thought he was just another, like, you know, one of those shit talker trolls. Oh, hey, cool. You know, talk your shit, do whatever, and to give less of a fuck, you know? And then Edward Boy started doing...
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Very, very illegal shit. And when I say illegal shit, like, we're talking during that time period when I was working on, you know, some music. It goes back to 2018. during the small part of everything, when you know, before all this shit, I had just dropped 2 albums back to back in 2018. They were dubstep albums. You know, let me do music on the side and see what I can do, see where I can take it.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
And I kind of went on and off with that for many years. And
She said
never
after Barbara
really
died, he
out
got
at
as far
first.
away as he could.
And then after high school, that's when
If there's a
I
pattern
started
in all
taking
these
it more
stories,
serious. Because I was out of high school, I was able to focus on it more.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very
You know,
far.
I could actually do things, you know? So I started taking it very, very serious.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
But it's because of people like Edward's voice.
On that first day, after the shaking
that I am not
started,
able
I
to
didn't
really
think I'd survive.
right now, as much as I want to. As much as I want to release music, I'm unfortunately unable to because I don't have the means to be able to do
But
so
after a few days,
as much as I would
I
love
settled
to
into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
And I can honestly say that music has saved my life on more than one occasion.
Having a schedule.
Because of my
Living for today.
depression, there has been times where
I always expected to be dead
attempted
tomorrow.
to kill myself multiple times. All these souls lasted right there
If you
in
wait
front
long
of them.
enough, you get used to anything.
Because I was so depressed. I felt like I didn't want to live anymore. I genuinely felt like I was
Even a
better
monster
off dead.
on the other side of the door starts to feel normal.
Like, I genuinely felt like, dang,
Almost friendly.
I can't do what I love, then why am I even bothered? Like, what's the point of living if I can't do what I love?
And then one day, everything just
twice in a row.
stopped.
And after the second time,
Whatever that thing was, it was gone.
After the second time,
Maybe you got tired of waiting.
in my room, just bawling.
Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
I wanted it to stop so bad, and I did not know what to do. I was genuinely fucking scared.
It's been a week
I did not
now,
know what to
the
do.
longest in 30 years.
All I knew is that I wanted this bullying to stop.
I'm done waiting.
And because of all the times
I
that
have to
people
leave.
had tried to kill
Well,
me,
I still can.
all the bad things that had happened, people bashing me, slandering me, making me look like shit, that's why I have PTSD. That's why I suffer from depression every day of my life. Every day is a struggle for me. I have my days where the depression isn't there at all, and then I have days where it hits me like a ton of bricks. And
I know
hate
it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara.
Man, I know what you guys are probably thinking. You're probably thinking, well, what about the thing with Tibbs? How did that come about? Well, let me explain that to you. Music Biz Marty, I don't know how he found my adoptive dad who helped raise me. I don't know how he found
Maybe this is all a mistake.
But he ended up finding my adoptive dad, getting him on panel.
But I need to stop living the same
I
day.
didn't believe it.
Even if it kills me.
And then I went to his channel the one day after, a lot of people telling me over and over,
I want you to know,
this dude, your dad's apparently on panel with Marty.
I'm going to appreciate all of it.
I went on there
especially the food.
I did. I went on there and I looked.
I don't mind.
And sure enough, he was on there.
For a month.
And I saw my dad sitting there.
I'd be happy.
Laughing at me, talking shit.
I can already imagine the sun.
So I confronted him. And at that time, I knew it was all just a ploy of Marty's to get me on panel. But at that time, I did not care one bit. I did not care one single
died
bit.
When I was 6.
I was there to confront my
I
dad.
can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
And little did I know that my own dad would disown me in front of over 1,000 people right there in front of me. And let me tell you,
I'm sure my
when
mom
he
was trying
did
to
that
protect me.
and I got off of panel, let me tell you, I've had a lot of bad feelings in my life. But that right there was the worst feeling in my life.
Maybe
and I
she was
do mean
afraid I
it,
didn't
the
like
worst
Walter.
feeling in my fucking life, dude.
But if she
for
never
the next
told
3
me about
days
his
after
uncle
that,
under
I
the
was
house,
so upset and so hurt. I didn't know what to
I can only
think. I didn't
imagine
know what to
else she was
feel.
hiding.
I was numb.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
I was genuinely numb because I was so depressed. I was so angry. I was so hurt and upset by the fact that my own dad could sit there and disown me in front of thousands of people. I was genuinely hurt.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2.
I was so fucking hurt that I didn't get on YouTube for about a week. I was so
but now I'm
fucking
worried
devastated.
The stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family
And when
curse,
I say
we made it real.
devastated, it was like I had just found out that it was like I was being stabbed in the back by my best friend, or, you know, losing a family member. Like, that's how bad it hurt. And Tibbs saw what was going on because Marty had shown my dad the video where I had threatened to kill Marty if he showed up on my property to harm me and my family.
But I thought you should know about your family.
You know, a man has a right to defend his property and his family.
And the history you're a part of.
A man has a right to defend, you know, what's his. And so...
Though, to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
My dad saw that video and threatened to sue unfortunately, they would not let me join, which I was totally okay with. You know, I was totally okay with that. Had no problem with that. But
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
And that's why I looked up to my dad, because to me, he was my hero. And that's why I didn't want to go to war with my dad, because, you know, I cared about him.
Shut up.
And looking back now, I do wish I had never killed him. Because if I had known that Tibbs TV was a liar, I would not have done it. But this kind of shit that I get put through every day, that's why I'm not getting anywhere. It's because of these evil-ass people. And they don't want to tell you guys the real truth, because they don't want to be called out. They don't want to look like shit. You know what these people do? They break terms of service with YouTube. If you go on to YouTube's terms of services,
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Without being transformative. Like, if you're a reaction channel, you're allowed to be a reaction channel. You're doing something transformative. You're reacting to something. People like Edward Boy don't do that. They just blatantly steal stuff. They steal music. They steal, you know, my videos. And there's even video evidence that I put out recently of Edward Boy openly admitting to stealing my stuff. Because he does not want to see me be successful. He wants to make sure that I fail, just like Marty wants to make sure I fail. But that's what these people do. That's the kind of shit that these people do. They use people and use people.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
If you go on to YouTube and you look up The Inquisitor, TikTok, if you just type in TikTok, The Inquisitor, and you look up the documentary on him, his story is very similar to mine. And I do mean very, very similar. And unfortunately, he ended up taking his life as a result of what these trolls did to him. But now you guys know the truth about why I haven't been able to get anywhere. And why I wake up every day so fucking depressed. And, you know, it's not that I'm hiding it. I'm not trying to hide it. But I put on a smile knowing that I have amazing fucking people like you guys that support my channel. I have amazing people like you guys that show love to me, that show support for me. And I know that my content isn't for everyone. I know that, you know, a lot of people hate what I do. A lot of people, you know, like to talk shit and this and that and the other. And that's fine. You know, people can talk shit, whatever. But I'll be honest, I am tired of being bullied. I'm sick of being attacked. And I want you guys to know the real truth about what these people do. Ghost Night Sniper. Welcome to the very first episode of Beyond the Comments podcast, where I talk about everything within social media, shit that goes on in social media, and stuff that needs to be spoken about.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before
you guys
starting
will
the
know,
house?
I have a very long-standing history with YouTube. I've been a YouTuber for many, many years. I've been doing YouTube since 2009. A lot of people sit there and say, like, I'm this evil person that I'm clearly not. But there's a lot that does need to be spoken about that I've personally noticed that's going on